What's going on, guys? So we are out here in Tampa, Florida at the Florida RV Super Show, and in front of me you are looking at something pretty dang special. There are so many fans that want to get into the Class B space, and what you are looking at is a perfect example of what most people are looking for, and that is a super capable, compact, fully loaded, high quality van that essentially can get them anywhere they want to go and back. And this is really, really cool. This is the Winnebago Revel Sport. Man, I'm super interested in knowing more about this. Hang tight, I'll be right back.
Yeah, my name's Chris Beanert, product manager with Winnebago here, specifically for our Class Bs, including the Revel.
Yeah, this thing is gorgeous. I love these super off-road capable Class Bs, especially when you build them on the Sprinter chassis, because that is such a fuel efficient platform that's smooth and quiet and reliable. So real quick, just give us a full tour of this. Let us know what's going on here, please.
Okay, so start off, Revel, of course, is amongst the mainstream manufacturers, is the original adventure van, always built on the Mercedes Sprinter, always four-wheel drive, now all-wheel drive. So it's got the full Mercedes all-wheel drive system in there. What we've done with the Revel Sport now, of course, we have Revel and Revel Sport, with Revel Sport being a little bit more affordable price point versus a Revel. And we've got a nice layout change here that folks have been asking for. They've been doing it in their own vans, and that's taking that forward-facing dinette seat and turning it sideways.
Okay.
So the effect of this on the floor plan, it's a subtle change, but the effect is huge. The amount of space you have here to move around, and it takes the whole space and just really turns it into a lounging area.
Yeah.
So you can look out your main door. Then of course we've provided some nice storage there for your iPads and whatnot, plus some charging points here, for whatever your devices are, to just make this a little bit nicer place to be inside the front of a Revel.
Yeah, because that's the compromise when you have a compact Class B is, how do you lounge in it? How do you use it when the weather's bad outside and you need to sit in there without feeling claustrophobic and cramped? And anything you can do in this type of space is important, because there's going to be people that watch this video and they're going to say, man, that is still cramped. That's a small space. But the people who are looking for small Class Bs will appreciate this type of change.
Yeah. And anyone who's been in a coach with a similar layout will really appreciate this.
Absolutely. No, I love the fact that, like similar with a lot of motorhomes, the seats swivel around, but they're really comfortable seats, really nice setup here. And what's super cool about these Class Bs is how there's so many little nuggets of space, what you're doing to give space back, and a lot of it's creative. So you want to walk me through the rest of this thing and we'll talk about some of that? Sure.
So when you talked about space, I like to call out the way we build our overheads. Yes, first thing, every surface is a laminate material. Okay, so they're durable. Every surface is effectively a countertop in terms of durability and cleanability. We were the first ones in this space to use the aluminum cabinet construction, where it's all folded aluminum. Now, the reason we did it, one, was durability. I mean, it's built like a snap-on toolbox, but also it's how thin everything can be.
Yeah.
So, and the thinner we can do this in the overhead, that's space we're giving back to the customer.
Yep.
So, and that's something, if you're shopping around, take a look at, pay attention to that.
I like how you've also felt lined the inside of this as well. A lot of people don't realize with motorhomes, they can be loud when you go down the road. And a lot of things clattering, moving around, and just the fact that you're using the folded aluminum, it is padded on the inside. It's just one extra step that's going to reduce some of that noise while you're driving down the road. So that is nice. I love the fact that you have power in there as well.
Yep. So that's something that we do. We provide a point here with the access to the roof. So we've got the hole drilled up there through the roof. Okay. And then we provide power.
What are we looking at right here?
Right here, we're looking at power, as we talked. Okay, so this is something new in Revel Sport that we're coming out with here. And we have been using a 12-volt lithium system, as compared to our mainline Revel, where of course we've gone into the big 48-volt system. Well, this is what we've got now is a smaller format 48-volt system. Okay. So We charge from the main chassis alternator. You're getting up there 900 watts thereabouts to charge a 5 kilowatt hour battery. Not the largest lithium system in the world, but
it's a good size though.
It's a good size.
Yeah.
It's a really nice, practical system. And it's a great foundation. You can use it as is. If you want to build on it further in the future, it's very compatible with that.
Yeah.
It uses the EcoFlow Power Hub Pro.
Okay.
Control panel here. Of course, we've got the partnership with EcoFlow. So whereas the previous Revel Sport, you're looking at your battery levels on your phone. Now you've got a screen here to do it, plus an app. But it gives you all the information you need, your input, your output, of course, solar.
How much solar's on the roof?
It's right about 215 watts.
Okay.
We find that's a pretty nice number for keeping up. If you've got sun, it keeps up with the refrigerator. And
is there an own-in generator on here, or is this purely battery power for?
This is a pure lithium coach.
Okay. Let's continue the tour. So it looks like we have is that a 12-volt refrigerator?
Yep, it's a 12-volt refrigerator. We like to position them here where they open to the outside.
Oh, yeah.
Because with that little table on the outside of the galley, let's let you live inside and outside. Because in a van, your cooking happens. Yes, you can cook inside. Mostly people want to cook outside.
this is for a lifestyle where people prefer to be outside, but they need to escape to the inside if things get bad outside. Yep. You have a little induction cooker right here.
And this is something that is a new one for this year. We actually selected a smaller one because it frees up space here.
Yeah.
Because there's the amount of space we freed up, you could effectively put all of your silverware here.
Yep. And for the most part, people with a coach like this are going to have their smokeless grill outside, and they're going to be cooking outside. Like I was saying, this is just like a lot of the super compact off-road Patriot style towable units, but in a motorized unit.
Yeah. And induction, I love it. You're taking the flame out from the inside of the coach, which people have cooked that way for years, but it also pairs really nicely with that 5 kilowatt hour lithium system.
Nice stainless steel basin sink in here.
Stainless steel sink. The signature Revel bathroom is still here.
This is a traditional wet bath, but it's a really nice wet bath.
Yeah.
And you can use it for extra storage, and that's a really nice setup. And it's a reasonable size setup. Just keep in mind what your typical limitations are. Again, people will watch this and be like, that is too small. But again, we're in a van, right? We're in a small van.
Right, yeah. And there's also the debate between with your bath is it, should I use it for storage or should I use it as a bathroom? So we were the originals to do this, molding in these ledges so that you can put shelves in your bathroom.
And they're very nice shelves too.
If you want to add additional shelves, you certainly can. But this lets you choose how you want to use that space.
Very cool. And real quick, I see you have a retractable bed system here as well. So that one's in the back here. I almost thought it was going to be up front, but it's not, of course.
Nope, it's in the back.
And that is really nice.
Yep, there's a bed.
It's a very smooth operating system as well. Very nice.
I've had some of my best night sleeps in the back of a Revel. So, some of the things we've done on the Sport here is we've added some power outlets and bungee nets here at the head of the bed. So, that's effectively your nightstand stuff. Your glasses or whatever, water bottle, whatever you want to store there. Plus, you can charge your phone and such there while you're sleeping. So
your Coleman Mach air conditioning system above you to get you nice and freezing at night.
Yep.
Very nice. And then the back, correct me if I'm wrong, but it opens up into kind of an outside-inside space.
Yeah. So we called it the gear garage. When you've got the bed up, it's wide open in the back. And people will use that, whether it's hauling your gear, your bicycles. We've seen everything back there.
Oh, yeah.
There's a whole aftermarket built around the Revel where people are building out lounges and things underneath the bed.
So that is really cool. And this is a big screen, right, that you can also lower down and, again, kind of have it as a screened-in patio on the back of your vehicle. Yeah.
So it rolls down, it's screen, it's a blackout. And when it's down in a blackout, it creates an air gap to your doors in the back. So it's a big layer of insulation.
Oh, very cool. That's awesome. So you can use it as a screen kind of room. Or is it see-through or is it? Or is it just like an air gap for insulation specifically?
So the thing is, you have a choice. It's got a flap, so you can have it screen, for the airflow through, or you can zip the flap up and the whole thing is blackout.
Oh, that is really cool. So yeah, it's a kind of a multifunction thing, which is really what the Class B series is all about, multifunction. It's a Swiss Army knife, the compact Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, everything really needs to have at least 2 functions.
Yep. Okay, so Chris, we're now on the outside. You want to go ahead and walk us through some of the, ooh, I like the parking sensors. That's really cool. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, just go ahead and take it from here, my friend.
Okay, just a few things on the outside I wanted to call out. I mentioned that, with the Mercedes Sprinter chassis, we order them pretty well loaded out. One thing you'll notice, this little lens down here, that tells you that we're ordering the Sprinter chassis with the 360-degree camera system.
Very nice.
Very handy in parking lots. Also helpful amongst the rocks.
Well, it's nice that it's also integrated in with the factory infotainment system.
Yes.
A lot of times manufacturers order the Sprinter chassis, but they do the base model and they start attaching cameras and it looks like an afterthought. But it's nice to know that you're getting it all integrated with the 360 camera system already.
Yeah. So our wheel and tire package, we've been exclusive on the BF Goodrich KO2. Soon to be, when they're out, the KO3s, of course, will transition to all-terrain tires. We've got a new wheel that's exclusive to Winnebago. We use on all Revel products, Revel and Revel Sport. Of course, you got the Revel branding on it. Just a very cool wheel. Interesting thing about this one, when we had it spec'd out, we went with an extra, I think it was 12 millimeters of offset.
Okay.
So if someone does decide to use, gives a little bit nicer stance, but a little bit nicer, better clearance too. And under these covers, the lug bolts that this wheel uses are compatible with the OEM Sprinter lug bolts. Okay, probably sounds like gibberish now, but if you ever actually have to deal with that with spare tires and such,
you need to find a lug bolt. Yeah,
you're going to appreciate that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I like the lights they put on the end right there. Are those just clearance lights?
Yeah, so we've got clearance lights on our running boards. Underlighting, you can kind of see there, which is surprisingly, I found that this is one of the coolest things about a Revel when you're camped out, in the dark. You turn on that underlight. It's so easy to find your van in the dark, but it does it without being obnoxious. It's just a really
well, and I live near Padre Island, and when you want to go out to the National Seashore out in the middle of the dark next to the ocean, you really want to know where your vehicle is when the tide starts rolling in.
Oh yeah. Some of the other classic Revel features we retained was our ladder. It stores here on the back, but we can unscrew it and then place it any place along the side of the van over there on the driver's side.
That is really cool.
And a lot of people don't realize how nice that is to have the ladder where you want it. Yeah,
for sure.
When you're accessing your roof.
3,500 pound tow capacity? Or what are we at on these?
We're at 5,000 pounds.
5,000 pounds, okay. Okay, very nice. So you can bring your towed vehicle with you if you need to.
Yeah, yep. So one other last little change that we made.
Love the smart plug.
Sport. Yes, I was going to call out the smart plug. Makes it so easy to connect and disconnect from shore power.
Yep, I love to see innovation like this because, quite frankly, you don't have to change that, and a lot of people won't notice until they own it for a while and they see somebody with an Airstream or they see somebody with a smart plug and they're like, oh, I want that. These are cool upgrades that, again, people don't typically notice, and that's not a buying decision upgrade. That's not something where somebody's gonna be like, if it doesn't have that, I'm not buying it. So it's really good to see that you're making proactive, incremental changes to things that really make it more valuable, makes it safer, makes it more appealing. That's awesome.
Well, the smart plug became more important to us when we changed to this new lithium system I talked about with that EcoFlow Power Hub. We're able to charge that 5 kilowatt hour battery very quickly. I think it's under 2 hours that you can charge that from shore power. So the amount of power coming through here is can be greater than what it's traditionally been.
The fact that it's a much better connection and you don't have to worry about heat buildup and things like that is really good. My channel sponsor eTrailer carries that, and it's a great upgrade to add to any RV, and it's cool to see that you guys are including it with the Revel, so that's awesome. Well, Chris, I really appreciate it. This is a beautiful coach, and you guys have really done a great job just evolving it, adding things that people are looking for. I mean, in a world where so much is getting decontented now, it's cool to see you guys are going the opposite direction and giving people what they want. So Chris, I really appreciate your time and thank you for the tour.
Thank you.
Yep, guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.